So the automatics can hots up a little bit over in League One with Portsmouth running away with it, but who's going to join them in the Championship next season? Derby, Bolton, Barnsley, who knows? We're going to get into it next. We'll take a look at the next round of games over in League One, and we'll get to that in a second. If you're new, what you mean? Smash your subscribe button. Your one-stop shop for League One is right here at Blackburn Overseas. We've also got World Football, Rovers, anything else, all under one roofski, of course. We'll get into all of that in a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, you know who you are. And again, if you're new, get in the old comments and subscribe, like, all that kind of jazz to, of course, keep you in the mixer right here as we look forward to the next round of games in League One, of course. So let's get cracking. Of course, recap where we were last time around with our full fixture list past weekend. Of course, there were some games in the midweek, and maybe we might gloss over them in a minute. But let's take a look at, of course, the predictions from last week, and then we'll kick on forward to the next round. So here we go then. Bolton against Charlton. Nathan Jones, of course, a bit of a thriller there. 6 goals in it. 3-3 in the end. I went with the 2-0 win for Bolton. Got it wrong. Meanwhile, Cambridge, big 4-1 win over Carlisle. I went the 1-0 win for Carlisle. Cambridge now looking for a new manager, or maybe employed within, as Neil Harris has gone back to Millwall as they try to save their season. So Cambridge managerless, or at least change of personnel in the dugout. Meanwhile, Port Vale did lose to Cheltenham. Bit of a zing-zong affair, that one. Was that Darren Moore's debut? 3-2 loss there. Cheltenham with a big win. I went with a 1-1 draw myself on that one. Derby County with a 1-0 win over Stevenage. I went with a 2-1 win. Barnsley with a 2-1 win over Fleetwood. I went with a 1-0 win. Not too shabby on that one. Leyton Orient lost to Burton Albion. Goodness gracious me, at Brisbane Road. It was a 2-1 win the other way. Lincoln City with a 1-0 win over Exeter City. I went with a 1-1 draw on that one. Northampton Town 3-1 win over Bristol Rovers. I went with a 2-1 win. Peterborough succumbed to Blackpool with the Tangerines with a big 2-1 away win there. I went with a home win. Of course, Pompey with a 4-1 win over Reading. I went with a 2-0 win. Shrewsbury lost to Wigan. I went with a home win on that one. And then Wycombe Wanderers with a 0-0 draw against Oxford United. Those are, of course, my picks. What about your picks then, shall we? Of course, we'll get into that in just a second. This is the table right here, right now. It is Portsmouth top of the charts with 72 points. Derby got a game in hand on them, could close in on them. And potentially, depending on their fixture lists, could actually challenge for top spot. We'll see all about that later on. Bolton, Barnsley, Oxford and Peterborough all competing for those playoffs right now. With Stevenage, Blackpool, don't look at Wigan, maybe Leyton Orient are in the conversation right here, right now. Those are, of course, the situations as we bring you to it. But let's take a look at how you guys got on with the Prediction League. Here we go, then. It's Swindon Arby with 6. Vinny Hong up there with 6. Russell Frost, Pressel Hinterland in the bronze medal position. Reflex Swift and JSPFC close to the money, but unfortunately couldn't get into the top end of the table there. But, of course, kicking ass, taking names, it is JSPFC with 150. Swindon Arby is competing with 145 and Russell Frost 143. They are in the medal spots right here, right now. If you see a name, smash your lucky. If you see the old, if you don't see a name, also smash the old lucky. That's, of course, the situation there. Of course, it could all change right here, right now. We look forward to these round of games coming at you this coming weekend. I'm a little bit behind the money here, but we'll get there right here, right now. We'll start with, of course, a Friday night game, which will be Wigan against Cheltenham over at the DW. So let's get cracking and have a talk about this one then, shall we? Here are we go. Now, Wigan against Cheltenham, of course, played each other 4 times in 2003. We've got 1 win for Wigan, nothing for Cheltenham. 3 draws, of course. Now, the biggest win, the only win for Wigan was a 2-0 win, scoring 3 goals in those 4 games, 0.75 goals a game on average. Cheltenham, though, without a win, of course, just 1 goal scored in those 4 games, 0.25 goals a game. Cheltenham winning 3 matches on the spin for them, 50% fall for them at the moment. They are on 21st spot right now, 32 points for the season. Meanwhile, Wigan, 50% fall for them right now, 1-3, lost 3. Also, 13 for the table, 40 points all season long. Last time around, though, over at the DW, it was a 2-0 win for Wigan back in September 2021. The reverse fixture in Cheltenham was a 1-1 draw back in November this campaign. The odds here, 5-4 is your Wigan, 9-4 is your Cheltenham, 23-10 is, of course, the draw. Cheltenham have been absolutely fantastic, of course, and I think deserve to get out of the relegation zone. Hopefully they can do just that, but they're not going to get it this time around. 2-1 win for Wigan, as of course, despite their points deduction, should really be competing for a playoff spot. I think that. Meanwhile, Cambridge against Peterborough coming at you over in Cambridge. It does state Neil Harris as your manager, but I do know that he is now a Millwall gaffer. Taking on Peterborough coming at you over at Cambridge. Played each other 8 times since 2015. 2 wins Cambridge, 5 for Peterborough, 1 draw, of course. Now the biggest win for Cambridge was a 2-0 win, scoring 7 goals in those 8 games, 0.88 goals game on average. Peterborough, though, 5-0 win, the biggest, scoring 14 goals in 8 matches, 1.75 goals game, of course. Peterborough's just 1 win in 5 for them, 33% form for them over the last 6. They are 6th with 56 points on the board, of course. Cambridge down to 17th right now, 38 points on the board, 42% form for them, just 1 win in 4, and of course now looking for a manager. Cambridge, of course, did pick up a win last time around in Cambridge back in April 2023. It was a 2-0 win. The reverse fixture, though, this campaign over at Peterborough was a 5-0 win back in November. The odds for this one, 5-2 is your Peterborough. Sorry, 5-2 is your Cambridge. Even Stevens is your Peterborough. 13-5 is the draw here. Going to go with a 1-0 win for Peterborough on the road. Cambridge are going to probably have a bit of a tough back end to the campaign. We'll see, though. Blackpool up against Bolton, a bit of a zing-zonger over in Lancashire. That's right. Played each other 15 times to 2010, 4 wins apiece and 7 draws, of course. Now, the biggest win for Blackpool, 4-2 win, scoring 24 goals in 15 matches, 1.60 goals a game. Bolton, though, 1-0 win, the biggest, scoring 23 goals in 15 matches, 1.53 goals a game. Of course, they're unbeaten the last 5 are Bolton, 58% form for them at the moment, 3rd in the table, 66 points on the board against the Blackpool side, 42% form for them, just 1 win in the last 5. They are 8th, 50 points for the season as well. Last round over at Blackpool in the league was a 2-1 win for Blackpool back in February 2020. The reverse fixture this campaign in Bolton was a 1-0 win for Bolton back in November, of course. The odds is 7-5 is your Blackpool, 7-4 is your Bolton, 5-2 is, of course, is the draw. 2-2 for me on this one. Bolton have got too much quality, and I think they'll get something out of this game with, of course, a lot of local pride on the line. Meanwhile, Bristol Rovers against Carlisle coming at you over at Bristol. They played each other 20 times in 2003. We've got 8 wins for Bristol Rovers, 7 wins for Carlisle, 5 draws, of course. Now, the biggest win for Bristol Rovers was a 3-0 win, scoring 29 goals in 20 matches, 1.45 goals game on average. Carlisle, though, 4-0 win, the biggest, scoring 25 goals in 20 matches, 1.25 goals game. Carlisle, they're winning the last 6 games, if not more than that. They're on 0% form for them right now, 24th in the table, 20 points all season long. Bristol Rovers, just 1 win in 4 for them, 50% form for them over the last 6. They are 12th with 43 points, of course, for the season. Last time around, over in Bristol was a 3-0 win for Bristol Rovers back in October 2021. That was in League 2. The reverse fixture, of course, in Carlisle this campaign back in November was a 1 win for Bristol Rovers as well. The odds for this one, 20 to 13 on is your Carlisle, 33-1 to draw, 4-1 is your long shots. That's, of course, Carlisle here. 2-1 win for the hosts. Of course, Bristol Rovers taking the points and moving the chains. Burton Albion against Northampton Town coming at you at the Pirelli now. These two sides have played each other 16 times since 2009. We've got 7 wins for Burton, 6 wins for Northampton, 3 draws, of course. Now, the biggest win for Burton was a 2-0 win, scoring 25 goals in 16 matches, 1.56 goals a game. Northampton, 2-0 win, the biggest, scoring 25 goals in 16 matches, 1.56 goals a game heading into this one. Just 1 win in 6 for Northampton Town, 33% form for them. They are 11th with 45 points for the season. Meanwhile, Burton, 58% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 5. They are cooking right now with, of course, Martin Patson at the helm. 18th in the table, 38 points on the board as well. Last time around, over at Burton was a 3-1 win for Northampton. That was back in November 2020 in League 1. Of course, the reverse fixture at the Six Fields was a 2-0 win for Northampton back in November. The odds for this one, we have 13-8 is your Burton, 13-8 is your Northampton, 9-4 is the draw. Going to go with a 1-0 win. Surprise, 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 though, for Northampton Town. Meanwhile, Charlton Athletic against Portsmouth, of course, coming at you at the Valley. Now, these two sides have played each other 34 times in 1983. We've got 21 wins for Charlton. We've got 8 wins for Portsmouth. We've got 5 draws, of course. Now, the biggest win for Charlton was a 3-0 win, scoring 52 goals in 34 matches, 1.53 goals a game. Portsmouth, 3-1 win, the biggest, scoring 34 goals in 34 matches. That's a goal a game on average. They're, of course, on 92% form are Portsmouth. 4 wins on the bounce, 5 wins in the last 6. They are top with 72 points on the board. Against the Charlton side, winless in the last 17 games, 25% form for them. They are 20th with 33 points for the season as well. Last time around, over at the Valley, was a 3-0 win for Charlton back in October 2022. The reverse fixture at the Valley was a 2-2 draw. At Fratton Park was a 2-2 draw back in November. In fact, Charlton are unbeaten against Portsmouth over the last 5. 3 wins and a couple of draws to boot. The odds for this one, though, 14-5 is your Charlton, 20-19 on is your Portsmouth, 5-2 the draw here. Going to go with a 1-1 draw here. Another one in the bag for Nathan Jones. Meanwhile, Exeter City against Fleetwood Town come at you over in Exeter. They have played each other 7 times in 2012. 3 wins for Exeter, 1 for Fleetwood, and 3 draws. Of course, another biggest win for Exeter was a 3-0 win, scoring 11 goals in 7 matches, 1.57 goals a game. Fleetwood, though, 3-0 win, the biggest, scoring 9 goals in 7 matches, 1.29 goals a game. They are winless at the moment in the last 3 are Fleetwood. They are 50% form for them over the last 6, though. 23rd in the table, 26 points for the season. Exeter, though, 50% form for them right now. Won 3, lost 3 over the last 6. They are 14th, 39 points for the season as well. Last time around, though, over in Exeter, it was a 2-1 win for Exeter back in October 2022. The reverse fixture in Fleetwood this campaign back in November was a 3-0 win for Fleetwood. Fleetwood. Goodness gracious me. The odds for this one, though, 21-20 is your Exeter, 5-2 is, of course, your Fleetwood, and 5-2 is the draw. 2-1 win for Exeter, taking the points for this one. And, of course, moving the chains as well. Barnsley up against Derby, bit of a zing-zonger over at Oakwell. Played each other 37 times in 1993. We've got 11 wins for Barnsley, 18 wins for Derby, 8 draws, of course. Now, the biggest win for Barnsley was a 4-1 win, scoring 40 goals in 37 matches, 1.08 goals a game. Derby, though, what we got here, 18 victories, scores 3-0 win, the biggest, scoring 54 goals in 37 matches, 1.46 goals a game. Derby, though, 75% form for them right now, unbeaten in the last 5. They are second, 66 points, of course, on the board. Up against the Barnsley side, 67% form for them right now, just one defeat in the last 6. They are fourth with 60 points for the season as well. Last round over at Oakwell was a 4-1 for Barnsley back in February 2023. The reverse fixture at Pride Park back in November was a 3-0 win for Derby. The home side has not lost this game since Barnsley beat Derby at Pride Park back in November 2020. The odds for this one then, 7-4 is your Barnsley, 6-4 is your Derby, 12-5 is the draw. Going to go with a 2-1 win for Barnsley at Oakwell to dent Derby's automatic hopes and boost Barnsley's promotion hopes. Meanwhile, Reading against Shrewsbury Town coming at you the Majewski. Now, these two sides have played each other just the one time in 2023. Of course, we'll talk about it in a minute. It's the reverse fixture, of course. Reading, of course, 67% form for them right now. Of course, 16th for the table, 38 points on the board against the Shrewsbury Town side. 19th for the table, 35 points on the board. Of course, 33% form for them right now. Just one win in 6. Of course, last time around, it was a 3-2 win for Shrewsbury in Shrewsbury back in November 2023. Of course, the bookies odds for this one coming at you, it is Reading 2017 on for the victory. 60-5 is your Shrewsbury. 5-2, of course, is the draw here. Tight one, but I'm going to go with a Reading 3-1 win at home to boost their season. Of course, I think next season they're going to be a team to watch out for. Into the final 3 now, we have Stevenage up against Wickham coming at you over at Stevenage. They have played each other 18 times to 2010. 7 wins for Stevenage, 8 for Wickham, 3 draws, of course. Now the biggest win for Stevenage, 3-0 win, scoring 21 goals in 18 matches, 1.17 goals a game. Wickham, though, 7-5 win was their biggest, scoring 21 goals in 18 matches, 1.17 goals a game. Of course, Wickham just one defeat in the last 6, 75% form for them right now. They are 15th, 38 points on the board against the Stevenage side. Winless in the last 4, 42% form for them over the last 6. They are 7th, 53 points on the board as well. Last time around, they're over at Stevenage in the league. You got to go back a little bit here, guys. It was a 0-0 draw back in December 2017. The reverse fixture over at Wickham, was a 1-0 win for Stevenage back in November. Of course, they have played each other in the EFL Trophy Southern at Stevenage this campaign back in October. It was a 1-0 win for Wickham. If you get that, hopefully you understood all that. But anyway, it is 11-10 on as your Stevenage. They are favoured here. 12-5 is a draw. 65 is your away win. Gonna go with Stevenage, who are the favourites here. 2-1 win at home to boost their playoff hopes, of course. And Oxford United taking on Leyton Orient over at the Kazam. They have played each other 12 times 2003. We've got 4 wins for Oxford, 5 for Leyton Orient, 3 draws, of course. Now, the biggest win for Oxford was a 5-0 win, scoring 17 goals in 12 matches, 1.42 goals a game. Leyton Orient, though, 2-0 win, the biggest, scoring 15 goals in 12 matches, 1.25 goals a game. Now, 58% form are Leyton Orient, just one defeat, 2 defeats of the last 6. They are 9th, 48 points on the board against the Oxford United side, 58% form for them, unbeaten in the last 6, however, drawn 5 of the last 6 games. They are 5th with 57 points for the season as well. Last time around, they're over at the Kazam in the league. It was a 1-0 win for Leyton Orient back in March 2016. That was in League 2. The reverse fixture at Brisbane Road this campaign in November was a 3-2 win for Oxford. That's right. The odds here, 6-5 is your Oxford, 2-5. The draw, 11-5 is your away win. Of course, that's Leyton Orient. Going to go with a 1-1 draw here. Another one in the bag for the Buckingham boys. And to the final one, we have Port Vale up against Lincoln City, coming at you at Vale Park now. Of course, they have played each other 15 times since 2006. 7 wins for Port Vale, 6 for Lincoln, and 2 draws, of course. Now, the biggest win for Port Vale was a 4-0 win, scoring 20 goals in 15 matches, 1.33 goals a game. Lincoln, though, 6-2 win, the biggest, scoring 23 goals in 15 matches, 1.53 goals a game heading into this one. Lincoln, 75% form for them right now, unbeaten in the last 6 matches. They are 10th for the table, 45 points on the board against Port Vale side, 8% form for them right now, 22nd in the table, 31 points, of course, winless in the last 8 matches. They are 8% form, of course. Last time around, they're over at Vale Park. It was a 1-0 win for Port Vale back in October 2022. The reverse fixture over at the Central Bank was a 1-1 draw back in November 2023. The odds for this one, we have 13-8 is your Port Vale. We've got 7-4 is your Lincoln City, and 21-10 is, of course, your draw here. I'm going to go with a win for Darren Moore's boys at long last. 2-1 win. And, of course, hopefully saving their season. Of course, that's my take on it, guys. If I am right, which you never know, I could be. This is what the table will look like. It'll be Portsmouth. Here will be Bolton, Derby, Reading, Peterborough, and then Oxford. Going down, it'll be Carlisle, Fleetwood, Cheltenham, Port Vale, of course, still in there, and Charlton also in a bit of trouble there. Get your own picks in, of course, using the links in the description. We'll see you soon for the next one over in League One.